All right, welcome all two of you. Special Eid Mubarak, Eid Saeed. We're celebrating Eid al-Adha. Well, not me personally, but Muslims across the world to varying degrees. In Indonesia right now, it has become the coronavirus epicenter, so that has put a dampening on celebrations at this time of communal prayers. For those that don't know, this Eid is the big Eid. It's the biggest holiday in the Islamic calendar. It celebrates the faith of Abraham or Ibrahim in putting a sacrifice of his son or brother, depending on the Christian, Jewish, or Islamic tradition, and God replacing the sacrifice with a sheep or a goat at the end. So Eid Mubarak, people put on their best clothes for this, and they'll have a sacrifice and give food to the hungry, to the needy, to their family as well. And even Mor Acro got some tagine last year from Eid, and it was super tagine. So Eid Mubarak to everyone out there celebrating to whatever degree you can do that. I hope you can be with your family. I hope you have the means to have your livestock and to be with the family right now. That would be truly a blessing. In the USA as well, celebrating, but to a lesser degree. I believe it's a 3-day. Happy Eid Mubarak to you, Abdallah. It's a 3-day celebration, and there's usually leftovers to go on for a little bit. So happy Eid, and God bless everybody there. So thank you for joining today. It's a harder time in Morocco again this year for Eid as coronavirus cases continue to increase in Morocco once again. There's a steep increase, and that's leading to continued restrictions, a nighttime curfew of 11 p.m., cafes and restaurants at half capacity, and things like that. You know, the public spaces. You need a permit if you're going to do more people. There's no weddings, there's no funerals. So things are still under control there until the situation cools down. Welcome, Radvig from Aglu. Never made it down to the beach in Aglu, but I'm sure it's a beautiful day there. It's a beautiful day here in Slovenia, to all the Muslims celebrating here as well. Depending on where you are in the world, welcome, Booty, is when Eid actually falls. I believe in the US is on the 19th, but in Morocco it's tomorrow. So I don't know if that has to do with the stars and the moon and the local position, but it changes depending on where you are. So interesting note there, and of course it rotates each year what day it falls on. So another Morocco American news here is Nabir. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. Nabir Latif Nasir. I messed that up. But a detainee of Guantanamo Bay was released after 19 years in Guantanamo without a trial. He's released back to Morocco. He was arrested in Afghanistan and taken to the infamous Guantanamo Bay, or Gitmo, an American detention center located in Cuba. I don't even know how that works, how they could have a place in Cuba like that. But it's infamous for torture, human rights abuses, and people standing here with a long time without trial. And he's been there for 19 years. He was recently released. Obama in 2008 said he was going to release people from Guantanamo. That was blocked. Trump again in 2016 put the ban on that. He kept everyone there. And recently Joe Biden has released, I believe he's the first prisoner under his tenure to be released from Guantanamo, and that's great. He's going back to his family. It's a horrible thing, though. You know, as an American, it's probably one of the most shameful things in recent history that we have to deal with and we have to live with. If we're supposed to be this place about freedom, justice, fair trial, and then we have a man there for 19 years from Morocco who they couldn't find charges against him. They're not really sure what he did. And this poor man had 19 years of his life taken from him. And now he's back in Morocco. And he hopes to get a job at his brother's pool cleaning business. I don't like to just give my opinion on things here because it's just like, what's this guy's opinion? But if the U.S. took 19 years of your life, put you in horrible conditions, then it's he should be compensated for that a little bit. You know, get him a nice villa in Aglu Beach or something like that. Maybe something in Tagazout Bay, and like a weekly souk stipend or something like that, because that's just not right in my opinion. So Eid Mubarak to him and his family. I believe when he was in Guantanamo, he worked making an Arab-English dictionary. I don't know if he even speaks English, you know. And then there's this divide between the guards and the prisoners, and that never goes well. If you know the Philip Zimbardo prison experiment, things can get pretty bad between these power imbalances. So what else do I have on the agenda today? Thank you, Moroccan Fisherman, for the super chat. $2.99 with a bird and a thumbs up. Thank you. You said you can't sleep that day. I don't know why that is. If you want to drop in the chat, what's stopping you from sleeping? Are you more of a fisherman than a meat eater, maybe? Well, I don't know. Next up on the agenda is Ben and Jerry's. Ben and Jerry's is an ice cream company in the USA, famous for their different ice cream flavors as well as their liberal policies. They've had ice creams working with Colin Kaepernick. They had Cherry Garcia, which is ode to the Jerry Garcia of the hippie band, The Grateful Dead. So they're a famous ice cream brand based in Vermont, I believe, East Coast, and they're internationally known. They said they were going to stop selling Ben & Jerry's in Israeli-occupied Palestine territories. So they're putting their money where their mouth is, taking that time out. And Israel responded they weren't so happy about it. They said, okay, your ice cream's not that good anyways. We'll find other ways. Because they hope to continue to sell in Israel, but they're putting a stop on their sales in Palestine. So that's their status there. Interesting note when companies get involved in this. Lana Del Slay says Ben & Jerry's is not as good as Haagen-Dazs. I don't like Haagen-Dazs that much. I'll take Ben & Jerry's. I've heard about Pegasus. Countries like Morocco, Israel, Saudi Arabia spying on journalists, citizens, and people in power. Moroccan Fisherman dropping another $4.99 with the mic drop. Thank you very much. I didn't know Super Chat worked in Slovenia, but it's much appreciated when you drop some money like that. In Slovenian news, I recently read about the Prime Minister meeting with some Israelis and some spyware going on to some apps here in Slovenia. Here, there's a lot of critique about combating journalists as well. So it's a weird time to have this spyware. I don't think journalists should ever be spied on. I don't think anyone should really ever be spied on. But then again, what if someone's a threat? But words should never be a threat unless they're inciting violence or disinformation, I guess. There's that magic word. I want to just know your professional specialty, and go ahead. I guess my professional specialty right now is running the Mor Acro World News. Moroccan Fisherman, where are you? You said 11 years without Eid. I had lived many years without Eid. I didn't know much about it when I was living in the USA. It was kind of a bubble, I guess. There were some Muslim students I went to school with, but they weren't very open about their religion in the climate of post 9/11. You know, I graduated in 2008, and by that time people were able to say, yeah, I'm a Muslim, and it's not like you saw on the TV. That's just how I saw it in the Chicago suburbs. I remember some people having to miss a football game because they were fasting, but people weren't very open about their religion, and you don't learn about it in school. I also read about this in a newspaper article when I was there, written by a Muslim student. She was saying how you learn about Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, but you never really hear about Ramadan in not the history books, but the culture books there. So I learned when I went to Morocco and I experienced my first Eid. I woke up to sheep being sacrificed. It was over very quickly. They say a prayer before that. And then the children, they had their the legs of the animal on a string and they're swinging it around. It was quite the experience. But we weren't invited to any formal gatherings because the coronavirus restrictions is still kind of families only. Uh, Moroccan fisherman dropping all the money today. Number one fan. I hope to go fishing with you one day. He's in Cali. I forgot that. Uh, One day we'll make it out there. I hope you enjoy living in California. I got some friends. One just moved out to San Diego recently, loving it. And it's a beautiful place out there. It's got that sunset over the ocean vibes. And if you're a fisherman, I'm sure you enjoy that. Um, Lana Ilsley asked if I'm still working as an English teacher. I haven't taught in a little bit. I'm working to find some clients. I opened my availability, but I'm working on finding some people there because YouTube has become less popular here and I need to do some other work. And right now I'm working for some clients for English teaching. I used to teach the Chinese children and I've been out of that for about 11 months. So I need some time to find my regulars again. But thank you, Shokran Bezef, Moroccan fisherman. I used to be quite the fisherman when I was a kid, just in the freshwater ponds, going for carp and bass and crappie, bluegill around Chicagoland. We take some trips up to Canada for walleye and northern pike. So maybe one day we could go fishing if I ever make it out to California. Andrea's doing well. She's got another doctor's appointment tomorrow. She's getting bigger and bigger every day, but she's got a lot of energy, more energy than me. I wake up later than she does, and she's doing well. So we're really excited for the baby to come, getting less nervous, and that's an exciting thing to come. Let's see what else I had on the docket. We talked Eid al-Adha, Guantanamo, Ben and Jerry's, Morocco COVID restrictions. We talked about that. We said that places are going under capacity, 50%, nighttime restrictions of 11 p.m., but the borders are still open. Tourists are welcome. They just have to operate within these restrictions. I hope to see that they don't close the beaches again or ban surfing. I did some research last night and saw coronavirus does not pass through swimming, especially in a big ocean, chlorinated pool. It's definitely not a case as well. So I lost the train of thought. Someone asked me if we prepared a baby name yet. This is difficult. I want to see the baby first before we decide on a name. Andrea's got some options. She's always saying, "Oh, you need some options. You need to pick a name," but it's hard. It's not as easy as naming like Jebly Cat. Jebly was easy. He liked to eat Jebly, so we named him Jebly, and he was white. But the baby, you're not going to name the baby Milk, even though that's what it's going to be drinking. So we're working on a name. Any name suggestions, go ahead and drop them in the comments, and we'll consider all options there. My mom made a list. Her mom made a list, and she's still waiting for Mor Acro's list here. Call him Love. Big Love. Something like that. I like that. She had another name as means like born beneath the waves or something like that, and we enjoyed that one too. Yeah, in Slovenia, that's the last thing on the agenda today is congratulations to the winner of the Tour de France, Padechor. He won the Tour de France, a young Slovenian, 22 years old, so well done to him. He's bringing his country great pride. And again, I said coronavirus, we're dropping here. They had like 9 or 8 cases the other day, which is great to see. They're eliminating free testing on August 23rd, so there will be no more free rapid antigen tests for those that are unvaccinated. I think people in healthcare might still have access to these, but they're phasing that out now. So I think that wraps up my little spiel today. Thank you for tuning in, all 40 of you, and we wish you a big Moroccan fishermen, you're dropping too much money here now. You're going crazy. Thank you so much. This is gonna help a lot with everything coming here, with planning for the baby. We're living simply here, and maybe this money will go on to have our trip to Morocco one day. we hope to see things skin clear. I'm not looking at tickets right now because of conditions of Corona and the situation right now. But thank you so much, Moroccan fishermen. You are absolutely the #1 fan today in today's Mor Acro World News. So you are a legend. Yeah, Moroccan fisherman is a true fan. Andrea's going to be really excited when she sees the generous donations today. Thank you so much. Yeah, Eid Mubarak, Saeed. God bless everyone. Stay safe. You know, whatever you think about the coronavirus and the situation, there's things you can do. You know, wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth if you've been around, and keep those you love safe. And, you know, I guess make the sacrifices you need to do in order to keep everyone healthy, happy, and safe. So, Eid Mubarak, Eid Saeed. Thank you for your dedication. And we'll see you next time on Mor Acro. She is staying strong. She's the champion. I feel like we should get her on here right now, but she's inside. Next time, okay? She's been making videos on her channel. In case you haven't seen those, she made one about traveling with pregnancy. Her goal is to do 30 vlogs in 30 days, which is quite an ambitious goal. I think she's going to do a lot of talking, storytelling, talking about her pregnancy experience. But if you go over to Moroccan Fisherman, another $2.99. Thank you. You're a legend. Andrea is making the 30 for 30 vlogs. If you go over to her channel, drop a comment, give a like. It's going to help motivate and encourage her to do so. We're trying to have her perspective a bit more, but still keep the Mor Acro vibes over here. So if you want some more Andrea, go check out Andrea Jurnacic. And Eid Mubarak, Eid Saeed, Moroccan fishermen, you truly are the #1. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shukran brzef, merci beaucoup, muchas gracias. Domo arigato, or is that nice to meet you? Thank you, and we'll stay safe. Much appreciated. Have a great, great day. We'll see you.